down. You swallow them up. But not possible there. So great positioning by Bunny. Definitely a possibility he could take game number 3.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's playing very, very well. So, and I mean, when we saw who he actually beat to get here, it was really quite a lineup. Like Stats, Sulkin, another great player. I can't remember off the top of my head now. But Bunny, it looks to be in very top shape right now in Legacy of the Void. And, you know, with this new expansion, we are going to see some players rise up above where they used to be.
We already saw it in Heart of the Swarm. A lot of the players that started to dominate, they were good in Wings of Liberty, but they weren't the best of the best. And with Legacy of the Void being so different, there's a high chance that the new players that we're going to see are people we haven't really heard of or haven't thought much about before.
And that's really cool. I would love to see some of these players that, like Bunny's been around. We know who Bunny is. He's, you know, he's like played in Pro League here and there. Every now and then he's in Code A or something like that. Never has really great results, but maybe this is just like his game now. Maybe he actually, it's like kind of clicking for him. He's like, oh, this is the style I've wanted to play all along. This is fantastic. So really exciting to see who that's going to actually end up happening for, because right at the beginning, there's a lot of people that have success and then just disappear because they like figured out something abusive, but now it's gone.
That's the thing, is when you get a new RTS game, there's a lot of people, you're right, they find something they can abuse or exploit in the game very effectively, but it doesn't mean that they know how to sustain that once everybody starts to catch on to it. We'll see. This is going to be a lot of fun.
I want to talk about that more in just a moment. But
yeah, sure thing. Let's just intro these players here. Bottom left in the red, winning game number 2, he is Bunny. And in the bottom right in the blue, winning game number 1, he is Reality.
So what you're saying, like at the beginning of an RTS, like a new RTS, and this is in some ways a new RTS, there's a lot of people that come out and they can like abuse certain types of strategies and certain things that are like overpowered that they might figure out a little bit earlier, or certain imbalances that people don't realize are imbalances quite yet, or something like that. And it's kind of funny because I remember very distinctly in the beginning of Wings of Liberty, like me and Greg used to laugh about it all the time. Anyone who would beat him in a tournament, like in an online cup, immediately one of these pro teams, these like the weaker pro teams in North America or Europe,
some of the more jobbery teams,
they would just pick up that player. And it was so funny because it's like, oh, you literally beat him with the most abusive thing that's going to be patched out. And then like this kid is doing 3 interviews a day and is like, on a pro team.
He's like
and
way
it's
out of his depth now.
And some of them, I remember, like the interviews, they were like really arrogant. And they're like, yeah, no, I really kind of just get it. And it's like, it was just the funniest thing because it's like, no, you don't even exist anymore. I won't even say any names because I don't even want them to exist anymore. It's like, but definitely really funny to see that type of stuff pop up. Now, the Legacy of the Void, I think we aren't going to have like many of those, but we have people that have momentary success.
Especially in Wings of Liberty. I mean, there were strats where you would look at it and be like, oh, I didn't even think that was going to ever be a thing, right? You'd have a lot of these weird rushes.
Yeah,
I mean,
like 1-1-1.
Right when I first started playing Legacy of the Void, or excuse me, Wings of Liberty, I just remember when I saw my first Bailing bust, and I'm like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's going to be a thing. That didn't even occur to me to try to.
How much money did DongRaeGu win off one base Bailing bus?
I mean, he is the grandfather of...
He actually won like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, I remember watching that.
Back when thousands was a lot in StarCraft.
Yeah.
It was crazy until the Muslim was smart enough to wall off with non-depot buildings.
Then but
God, I love the old days, man. It was so fun.
Oop, we have some pressure coming in here.
Oh,
bouncing that Marine back. What he wants to do is get this SCV that's making the command center. That would be huge. It looks like the command center's just really going to finish in time, though. And nice.
Wow, that's painful.
Wow, that's huge. Yeah. That is huge. This is a great start here for Bunny.
And it does not supply cap him right this second, so that part of it's kind of nice. But look at this, with this Hellion coming up, Bunny putting on a lot of pressure here. Does get that finish, but hey, you're losing SCVs to even finish that.
Good call for him to actually go up here. He could try to get any of the Marines that are going to pop out if he just positions it just right. Instead, he is going to go for the depot here. Oh, look at you, handsome pants, hopping up there with the Reaper.
Dude, Bunny is just looking fantastic right now. Some really nice harassment going on now. Eventually we are going to see this this bottom, this low ground taken back, basically. You know, we're so much closer right now to Reality's base. He has that reactor. He's going to get a few more Marines, another Hellion, and he should be able to bust down and take his expand. But we have a cloaked Banshee on the way for Bunny right now.
Yeah, that is true. We'll see how that actually fares here. Finally, this expansion can be reclaimed here by Reality. But for the starts here, very effective harass here by Bunny. I really like what I'm seeing.
Yeah. I really like players who open up with a very aggressive opening when the meta is still not completely solidified and strategies are not completely solidified, because
I think that's the best way to learn in RTS.
I agree. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I think it's just a really smart way to learn it, and I think it's a really smart way because you're going to find a lot more holes in people's play because they're like, okay, I know my general strategy for mid game and late game, and then their opening might be just a little bit off, but you have this very sharp build like we just saw from Bunny, where it's like, look at Bunny's situation right now. He's up by 4 SCVs. He's got way more tech. You know, he's got his expansion mining at the same time as Reality. Is this guy's ahead in every way now.
Yeah,
from this just tight, nice harassment-based opening.
That Banshee's coming now. Cloak just now finishes, but in range of the turret, and a huge blunder there by Bunny. That's unacceptable. Had he kept the Banshee alive, he could actually be attacking in the back of the main and maybe even hit the front.
Dude, that's brutal. A cloaked Banshee is worth so much in TVT.
He doesn't have another one, right? That's it. So he just got cloak. He didn't even get to use the cloak. He didn't even get to marvel at the invisibility of that Banshee.
Yeah,
that's just too bad.
He let it. He did let cloak finish, and
he did let cloak finish. Yeah. Yes, he did 100% let that finish.
Okay. Yeah, that's sad, man. It's like you own Harry Potter's invisible blanket, but you never use it because you're not cold because you live near the equator.
Yeah.
And you don't even know it makes you invisible. You know how sad that is?
That's the saddest thing, man.
You could have been the sickest bank robber, but no.
No.
You're just a guy with a linen closet with too many blankets in it. It's exactly what it's like.
Yeah, man, you nailed it, dude. You nailed it, man.
I got that.
You got it, man.
Got that in lockdown. All right, I'm out of here. I'll see you later.
The way this map is set up, I think there's a high chance that we're going to see Reality continue to expand towards the north. And there's also a good chance that Bunny, just the way this game's been going, can get a foothold outside of Reality's base and try to deny him from getting that expansion up. But meanwhile, we have a drop coming in over here. 3 Hellions going to be gunning down a lot of these SCVs.
Yeah, this could actually do some really good work over here. You know, he ends up getting 4 and hasn't lost anything.
Yeah,
it's quite a successful drop. It doesn't catch him up all the way out. Well, I guess he actually has more SCVs now, but that Banshee did die, so I guess it's actually getting quite close again. But
look, had he not lost that Banshee, it would be a different story.
The game would look very different, I think.
And the Banshee, if you guys I know we got a lot of new people who are watching who have not been following StarCraft. This is your time, guys, to start picking up StarCraft because
it seriously is.
It's all fresh and new. We don't know what to expect with the meta. Everybody's learning, but the Banshee, the technique with TYTY with Banshee is actually about as old as StarCraft 2 is. People have been getting this unit, so I'm kind of disappointed to see Bunny actually just crash that into a turret early on like that. Because that is sort of the staple early game aggressive opener of TYTY.
Well, you know, that's, what was it, the best? Remember the best? How many Banshees he would just fly into turrets?
Yeah, he would just drunk drive his Banshees into turrets.
Yeah, it was pretty rough.
That was brutal.
Yeah. Definitely was not the best, but
no.
Well, it was the best, but he wasn't the best. So we do have actually, look at this, nice little move here, trying to pick off that siege tank. Quick micro reaction there by Reality.
Reality deciding to now push in here. I think the tech might be a bit more developed here for Bunny. So we'll see what actually happens tonight. Okay, so hold on. Here's the attachment here now. Dropping the siege tanks. We have one tank sieging out. Cyclones coming in. Unable to actually pick up that tank.
Wow.
And with this decisive attack, Reality just goes straight for the jugular. The expansion being picked up. He's trying to relocate it.
Dude, both Cyclones, they were free. A couple siege tanks killed basically for free as well. And Reality just took such a lead that it looks like he should be able to just win the game. He's even possibly going to get the command center.
I mean, TVT, guys, it is a very, very unstable matchup. If you get out of position, you can get KO'd pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Bunny was a little bit out of position there. You know, the Cyclone's definitely in the wrong spot. Everything definitely went wrong for him.
You can actually time out those the shots in between the siege tanks and just drop it right after the tank fires and then hit it and win with the initiation.
And just moving forward with 3 in a range of 1, it's like you get a free siege tank there. It's pretty awesome. Well, I mean, Bunny is going to try to hold on for now, but he's definitely really far behind at this point. He does still have a mining command center, which is good. And looks like he's going to move out to try to do some counter damage.
The thing is, I don't know how much this attack can do. It's 1 medevac with Marines and then a tank.
Yeah.
And frankly, with the huge force of units that Reality has outside of Bunny's base, if he identifies that some of the army isn't there to defend, he can probably just shove in and get right into the heart of the Terran's base.
Yeah, you're probably right that he definitely can do some more damage if he goes for it. Now we do have Bunny really being careful here, moving the siege tanks around, but we do have a stim up here from Reality, drops the siege tanks out, pushes Bunny back.
Now the thing is that Reality does not. Oh, hold up! There's actually an attack behind that. Okay, there it is. One thing to keep in mind is he doesn't actually have to go to the main. If he just gets like 1 tank over here and starts getting that expansion,
yeah, that's true,
then he's going to be in good shape.
Well, right now we do have Bunny going over towards that expansion. The Marines are following him right now. The siege tanks will drop out, so looks like he should be able to hold on to here for now. Well, not if he doesn't bring those siege tanks.
Yeah, he's trying to move that tank back. All he has to do is get that 1 tank. You can really bait them pretty effectively with that tank, just picking them up and moving them back.
So much about the medevacs.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
the amount of pickups, and it's like the Marines come, and he's like, nah, you'll just pick up those siege tanks.
I remember when I first saw the trailer for Legacy of the Void, I was like, I wonder what that's going to do to this matchup. You know, but now I'm really seeing it in action. I'm like, oh, wow, that really... hold up, though. Big counterattack. This is very important because if this works, this will be what will allow Bunny to continue into this game, and it doesn't really look like there's almost anything here.
Well,
in fact, he's attacking his own. Was he attacking his barracks for a second?
He may have been. Yeah. It looks like, well, there's not many Marines here to actually help out. Well,
no, there's some. They're just above the tanks. Okay. I almost didn't see him too, actually.
Well, right now we do have Reality pushing forward right now, stimming forward with these Marines as well. Where are the siege tanks? Looks like just 1 behind right now.
Yeah,
but
well, there's only one here in the main. Yeah. And from here, this is how you kill Terran. You get on top of their production facilities, and everything. There it is, GG. Everything dies right when it comes out.
Yeah. And Bunny is minced meat. He's out of here.
He's Bunny meat now, man.
This is his new reality. He is going down to, I guess, play next week and see if he can win a spot next week. But
great series. TVT looking pretty interesting.
Yeah, TVT is pretty cool right now. I mean, there's a distinct lack of mech, which is bothering me about it, but we'll see if those crafty Terrans can figure it out.
People need to turtle a little bit more, I think.
I feel like there was too much action.
I've known you for like half my life, and I still can't get over how much you just get off on mech. It just cracks me. You're like, I really like how he's not attacking the other player right now.
It's kind of brilliant how he has turrets around his base so he can't be hurt.
Yeah. I played with this guy all the way back in Brood War, man. Artosis was
not an act.
He was not a guy who attacked, man. He was definitely, he loved to play the turtle style.
Well,
yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with mech, right? It seems like the Marines do pair well with the rest of the medevac tank, and the fact that you can relocate the tanks means you can pick some fights pretty effectively.
Yeah.
I don't know. Legacy of the Void, still very new. We're still learning. Anyways, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll be going on to our second match here of Day 2 in the GSL Code S, not Code S, here in Legacy of the Void. Stay tuned.
I think you better take another look at what you become. You're pathetic, so forget it, it's already begun. I am finding out the fitness system, bury it all. You will always have a simple mind until you wake up. This is everything you wanted, but you couldn't persist. I have only just got started, so sit back and digest. Everything will find a purpose in this way since you'll fade. Remember, life is only justified by what you be. Stop now and never give the best of me. Stay down and never let you have to breathe right. Oh, it's sadness when you sold your bones for love. But you crawl right back, I'm sure. Like thieves trapped in hiding, in time you will know how to crawl right back. for blood. Go on, save yourself. Tell me, how does it feel to be alone? Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, go on and save yourself. Blind by emotions and bent on fiery eyes. You're gonna mess your head up right now till the dead finally falls. Don't tell me you wanted exactly what you've got. You're gonna rip my heart in pieces, and then you take a little more. I feel no life when you save yourself. Tell me, how does it feel to be alone? Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, go on and save yourself. Go on and save yourself. Any day now, brother, I will come crawling. I'm a fool for thinking, sister, you would be sorry. Any day now, brother, I will come crawling. I'm a fool for thinking, sister, you would be sorry. Tell me, how does it feel to be alone? Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, go on, save yourself. Tell me, how does it feel to be alone? Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, go on, save yourself. Tell me, how does it feel to be alone? Tell me, how does it feel? Tell me, go on, save yourself. You got two black eyes from loving too hard, and a black car that matches your blackest soul. I wouldn't change you. Oh, wouldn't ever try to make you leave. No. Oh, the neon coaster was your sign, and the Midwest wind, your Pisces rising. Wouldn't change you. Oh, wouldn't ever try to make you leave. No. Static palms melt your vibe. Midnight whisperings. The black magic of a holy drive. Spilling balls on a desert sky. Drinking white wine in the busted light. Just another LA devotee. Sunsets on the evil eye. Invisible to the Hollywood shrine. Always have a hunt for a little more time. Just another LA devotee. Just another, just another, just another, just another, just another, just another, just another LA devotee. Got bleached out eyes from the valley sand, and the blacktop palms keep weeping your name. I couldn't change it. Oh, couldn't ever try to make you see. No. The high-rise lights that reach your rights, and a downtown storm with Aries rising. Couldn't change it. Oh, couldn't ever try to make you see.
The void beckons.
What's up? Welcome back. We are continuing on with today's Legacy of the Void games.
Yeah, and guys, I mean, we're about to watch Zest play. He's literally the spiritual successor to Oops Reach.
Yeah. He's
Get
a
out there.
fantastic player.
We want more people to know
a lot
about
of
this.
success in Heart of the Swarm. PvP, Just a fantastic matchup. It's one of the matchups that has so many different variables. There's a lot of different ways to play it. Although it does oftentimes end up in the same place if you go to late game. Is that going to be the case in Legacy of the Void? We don't really know. We're still waiting to see how the meta actually develops.
Well, seriously though, guys, help us out to spread the word. Get out there, post on Google Plus, and let people know to tune in. I think that's how we'll get all the viewers.
Get on MySpace. Let everybody know what's happening on GSL.
Pin this to your Pinterest board.
Yeah.
Because I think this is the new way to get people in here. So, all right. I'm going to put up a GSL profile on Tinder. I need you to swipe left.
Swipe right. Yeah, swipe right.
Okay.
I think.
I don't know. Anyways.
I don't know.
Let people know.
Get out there, spread the word, do the right thing. We got a great new RTS game, Legacy of the Void. We're still learning. This is always my favorite part, is right when an RTS game comes out, everybody's, there's all these different little metas. Even here in Korea, the different team houses are going to have different metas for how they're approaching the game.
Certainly.
And we're going to eventually see what is in fact the best way to approach the game.
Well, in PvP, I would say PvP, it's not figured out, but there's definitely a lot of things figured out about it, like disruptors are pretty good. And Blink Stalkers are the only things that can dodge their shots successfully.
That's true.
So while there can be a lot of different openings, like Supreme late game is most likely Sky Toss if you can get into that, but more likely a few Tempests mixed in with Blink Stalker Disruptor. But let's see what these guys want to do.
Yeah, I think the Disruptor is definitely going to be a big interruption to Mass Colossus.
Oh, yeah, I know.
So let's see what happens with that. Over here in the upper right, in the red, he is Hirricane.
I'll talk about it in just a second. You go ahead.
In the bottom left, saying good game, good luck. In the blue, he is Zest.
Wow, look at Hirricane just copy him, even with the forward slash.
Yeah.
Like, get your own GGGL Hirricane. But, so,
yeah.
just to kind of mention here, like, for instance, Colossus play, guys, is gone. I have not seen one Colossus in a PvP in Legacy. It doesn't, like, the Disruptor just shreks it. It's so much better in the matchup. But, like, looking here, this is actually a very aggressive quick opening by Zest. Like, he actually went for such a quick gas here. So we'll have to see, like, what he wants to do. Like, it definitely could be something like a quick Oracle, maybe Adept into Oracle or something like that. But, well, he's only got one gas, though. So, no, he's just going to go directly into the Nexus. Okay. So this is kind of a middle-of-the-road build, then, by Zest. I thought for sure he'd be trying to get a little bit more aggressive with that, but...
Yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of interesting to see that this early on in the game. You know what I mean? It seems like it's a build that can stop a lot, but then if you realize that there's nothing coming, you just switch into econ play.
Yeah, it's like, I guess if Hirricane had done something balls to the wall, it was crazy, and he went Nexus first, that could be rough. And Nexus first is much more popular on maps like this with that back expand
Absolutely.
in PvP, so just kind of playing a little bit safe as Zest here, which is not unlike him from Heart of the Storm either.
Can I just take a moment here? I want to say it's so good to be back casting StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
I hadn't casted anything since BlizzCon. How long ago was that?
That was a long time ago.
Was it like a
That's
month
over
ago or
month.
something?
Yeah, it was like the 7th of November or something.
Felt like something was missing in my life, but yeah, it's good to be back here casting.
Yeah. I can imagine. That's a really long time.
Yeah. So good to be here with you guys. This is a real treat. And we're going to see exactly how to understand this game as we cast each game one at a time. We're going to slowly get a much better idea. And for those of you guys watching, you're going to have a real leg up on the ladder, being able to just copy these builds.
Oh, absolutely the case. Well, we do have a couple of depths coming out for Hirricane here. A single depth going out for Zest. It's not going to do probably too much more than scout a bit and see what's going on.
Well, that's one thing about the Adept is it actually, not just for harass, it's also actually great for scouting.
Yeah, and I mean, its price is quite a bargain for what it gets done.
Walmart value right there, man.
It's
Can't beat that.
It's pretty crazy. Slashing prices every day.
Yeah. And just going to go ahead and take out a few probes here.
Yeah, and look at this. He's actually getting multiple probe kills here, even with it. Of course, as soon as those warp in, it's going to go down. But he got a pretty good scout. I believe he saw the Stargate with the Shade. And well, anyways, he flies in there now with the Mothership Core, so definitely sees it at this point. But yeah, this is actually something that's pretty popular right now, flying a Mothership Core over to do a little bit of harassment.
Yeah, there's not anything that can contest it right now.
Yeah, if you just don't go near a pylon, you're fine.
Yeah,
because the Nexus Cannon would just shut this down immediately, but pylon cannons are much shorter range.
Yeah, the Nexus Cannon, I believe, had the range of an entire screen.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
Well, right now we do have Zest actually chasing these Adepts out. Looks like this one guy does get in. We'll get a couple kills for sure. Adepts kill probe's pretty dead.
And looks like we're going to have a nice escape. Oh, no, not too late. Thought he was actually going to get out of there, but I guess not.
Well, taking a look here, the worker count is pretty similar on these two. Well, we do have a Warp Prism already coming up for Zest, as well as that Twilight, so kind of getting that normal tech. But an Oracle is coming out, and on these 3 bases could be a little bit difficult for Zest to actually hold on against that and not lose anything. But you know, I think that this will probably normalize quite quickly into Blink Stalker and then into Disruptor, and then we get to see the real madness of PvP.
Yeah, that's what PvP is starting to look like.
Yeah, it
takes a lot more finesse, I'd say, to play with that unit comp than it does with Masked Colossus.
Oh my god, yeah, it's so hard to actually control it right, and like, it's kind of crazy the different stuff you have to do. Like, Speed Observer, State clued me into this. Speed Observer is actually quite important.
Makes sense.
Observer speed, so that you can see where your opponent's army is moving.
Yeah.
And so you have to have like 3 control groups, like your Blink Stalkers, your Disruptors, and a Speed Observer to see them incoming so that you can dance yours around and move them.
You have to be able to preempt their attacks. Because otherwise you might waste a blink on something and then you are just going to get punished for it.
And don't forget the way that Disruptors actually work. Like if you shoot your Disruptor a millisecond after your opponent's and you go towards each other, yours will never go off. You will kill yours and it will not detonate. So
look at
pretty
this.
Big deal.
All right, now he's going to go ahead and get ahead of these workers coming right up over here. And as the workers get transferred, they have to go right back.
Oh, that's a lot of damage. Zest doing some great jobs here.
And he's going to try to just get out of range of the pylons. As you can see, the pylons do not have an impressive amount of range. And already relocating back over here.
Yeah, and only one makes it, but hey, he gets a little bit more, using up some more of this energy as well, trying to fly back there. He actually brought his Oracle all the way back.
Huh.
So that's kind of interesting.
Well, it's now the turn of Hirricane to use his Warp Prism and probably begin some harassment on the opposite side of the map. It is 3 base versus 3 base right now. Blink is very close to finishing, as well as a Dark Shrine here.
Yeah, Zest grabbing that Dark Shrine, so that's kind
of interesting to see that. I guess that would make sense, though. I mean, DTs do pair well as far as tech goes with Mass Stalkers.
Sure, yeah.
So maybe, and also we got to factor in, you know, DTs get much stronger the more bases your opponent has. So in Legacy of the Void, with things being ramped up at such a higher pace, maybe he's already kind of decided that this is probably proper for the meta to have the DTs out to get that harassment.
Totally, I like it. And don't forget, like, Warp Prisms are way better now and way more used. And also, like, just build time out of that Robo is at a premium. So do you have an Observer everywhere? Are you buying a lot of cannons? Like, there's a lot of things it can do, but wow, really
nice
good catch
job there. Yeah, gunning down that Oracle. That's going to be a bit of a headache. Meanwhile, Hirricane coming down here, trying to get as many probes as he can before the rest of the harass is stifled. Forge coming up here now. It looks like we're going to have Colossus tech here from Hirricane. So these two guys going in very different techs.
Let's see how this goes. He is moving out right now with a lot of Blink Stalkers. We do have this, 4 Dark Templars in there. Holy crap. Obviously, we'll have to blink away from there. Immortal's still used in the early game in this matchup. Good against Blink Stalkers.
He might be able to just get this Warp Prism.
Oh my god, you can't just let that run.
Oh, misclick as he gets under that. Some misclickery going on there.
He's got to be careful about that. Well, it looks like a lot of damage being put onto these Adepts, but they are trying to go ahead and shade through into this front natural.
Immortal taking some heavy fire over here in the front, unable to back out. It will go down as the pressure continues onward over here. Although it does seem that Zest is going to go ahead and back up just a little bit, as maybe he's overextended.
The DT dropped 4 of them going off here, and look at that.
Oh! That was sick, but there's still a lot of DTs here. The Observer does come up. again, when you're taking this many bases, and that's what Legacy of the Void is sizing up to be, oh my god, too much happening all over the place.
Yeah, Zest is everywhere. That 4DT drop being fantastic. Just the force fields in general have been amazing here, and the fact he is going to get that Nexus.
I think he might have just dismantled Hirricane entirely.
Yeah, it really looks like it. He's a Class 1 Tropical Storm now, if you ask me.
It does look like Hurricane's managed to breach the bottom part of the ramp, so the DT's not in a great position, but still mining has been interrupted over here inside the main right now of Hirricane. A third base is non-existent for him as well, as a fourth base is going to be finishing up momentarily here for Zest.
Well, look at this. Zest just still positioned so aggressively with these Blink Stalkers. Has that Prism, and he can even save these Dark Templars if need be. Oh, man. Even going to get a kill there on that Nexus.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah, we do have the Disruptors out. Not even utilizing them. You know, he actually was on a cooldown for Blink there, so I'm really surprised he didn't utilize that.
Yeah, I was a little bit confused by that as well.
If you blink at all, that's the time to throw out a Disruptor Ball to try to catch Stalkers, so... But right now, Zest, he's going to go ahead and transition into Disruptors as well.
I think all Zest has to do is regroup his army and attack again, and I think the game ends. It's 154 supply to a supply blocked 40 or 94.
Yeah, I mean, Zest is really far ahead, but if you keep a very defensive position with multiple Disruptors, it's very hard to break each other. Like, if Zest makes one mismove, he might lose, you know, 50 supply in the blink of an eye. It's kind of crazy how much damage Disruptors can do against a Protoss army. So, yeah, I mean, he definitely should be able to win this game, but don't count out 4 Disruptors, man.
Yeah, if you miscontrol your army against those 4 Disruptors, that can be the thing that completely turns the game upside down. Now, let's see how solid his blink control is coming up here, as the Disruptors are going to have to be activated.
Yeah, just one at a time is exactly how you have to do it. You never want to send out more than one against Protoss. Oh,
all right, so he made him spend his blink cooldown, so he's going to wait a little bit, but I think he will end up just reinitiating here.
Yeah, well, I think he will continue to poke. The thing is, when you get 4+ Disruptors, you have an almost steady stream. Not 100% steady, but almost steady stream of Disruptor shots, so it gets a little bit hard, but so he does throw out a couple of those. A little bit crazy throwing out 2.
The response here from Zest is pretty smart. He just keeps expanding. Oh, whoa, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and he actually snipes them all, so it looks like this actually should end up ending the game.
Yeah, this will be the end of game number 1 here, with Zest taking a convincing victory over his opponent, Hirricane. Zest is really, so far it seems like a much better grasp of how to play PvP.
Yeah, that was really, really well done. I really liked his 4 Dark Templar drop while he was harassing at the front. Like, he got enough sentries there that he was able to kind of force everything back, and then when the army retreated, he's like, well, I mean, I already know how this works. I have Blink, and I haven't been buying Immortals, so I can easily force field you in.
Yeah, and once he lost that Nexus, and then if you notice, he tried to remake the Nexus, and it actually got shot down. It wasn't just canceled. Well, it simply was not canceled. Yeah. He actually killed it again. He did have some good defense for a little bit, but, you know, even if the player can't be cracked, because you go through minerals so much more quickly in Legacy of the Void, Zest can just keep expanding more and more and more and more and more. And when you have a Protoss player who's trying to turtle like that, there's really no way they can punish it.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, this matchup now. I actually am enjoying it quite a bit, to be honest, even though it's like a little bit crazy and a little bit volatile with those Disruptor shots. Like, it's a lot about moving around and trying to harass and breaking off pieces of your army, because it's like, okay, if you have, you know, 50 Stalkers or 40 Stalkers, it doesn't make that big of a difference, because the Disruptor, like, they can't even all shoot at once. A Disruptor, you know, if you're blinking in or something like Zest did there, that can be very risky. If he has a slightly larger army, a couple of those Disruptor shots get off, and suddenly so much of Zest's army is gone.
PvP is, especially in Legacy of the Void, I feel like is the matchup. I still don't feel like I have a good grasp on it yet, the way it operates, where endgame is supposed to be, what it's supposed to look like.
Sure.
So it's going to be cool as this tournament continues to see how it actually develops.
Yeah.
We're now going into game number 2. Such a treat to be down here.
6.
Yeah. I'm loving it.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Here in the upper right in the red, he needs to win this game and the next. He is Hirricane. And in the bottom left in the blue, one of the best Protoss players of all time, he is Zest.
some really great play coming out of Zest there. I liked how he went kind of later disruptors.
Yeah.
Like, Hirricane kind of chose more tech-heavy, right? He went like Oracle, then he utilized Immortals, which oftentimes is paired with Stargate tech because you know that your blink could be a little bit behind. You might be lower in Stalker, so you're going to get some Immortals. And then, since he already has that Robo, like, kind of producing, went right into Disruptors. It's not like it's bad what he did, but I like how Zest was like, no, okay, so I have the 3 bases, I have complete mobility here, I'm controlling the map, and I'm putting on the pressure. And it was really cool because it's not like in old PvP, if your opponent gets like 2 more Colossus than you, you're in a lot of trouble, right? Not necessarily the case with Disruptors. Disruptors just operate so much differently. Like, it's such a fluid battle where it's like there's so much retreating in the battle. You can't just like walk forward and win because you have 2 more Disruptors. In fact, if you try that, you will literally lose because of that. So it's, I don't know. I really do, so far, I really like the new PvP.
I'm just loving how everything has changed.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, so the probes are now going to go out here and scout. Builds quite similar to what we saw in game number 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're mirrored.
Yep.
Pretty much completely here. They're both scouting even at the same time, so we'll see what type of builds that they actually want to go for here. Definitely there was a lot of great adept harassment in that last game. You know, this map, adept harassment is always like pretty good. I don't know if we'll see as much of it here. Some of those travel distances, like to the front naturals, a little bit further.
It's really interesting seeing Protoss with an additional harass unit like this.
Yeah.
Protoss is always, since the early days, there's been a stable way to play Protoss, but you have to know how to play this cowboy Protoss style of unpredictability, especially if you're in like a best of 5 or something like that. You can't just stay standard.
Yeah.
You really, I mean, it's happened before, but you rarely see a Protoss player who just does this, like Rain's a good example, for instance, who does a solid build each game.
Yeah.
You have to be able to take a lot of risks and do a lot of very, very dramatic builds.
Yeah, that's...
And with the Adept out here, it's only going to add to the arsenal of, Protoss build orders.
Oh, certainly, and I'm sure a lot of players of every single race will echo that.
Sure.
Everyone has had a lot of workers killed by early adept harassment, man.
Yeah, for sure.
It's definitely something you got to perfect into being good against. And look at that. I love these types of moves where it's like, okay, you send out your shade. I have to send out my shades because you did that.
Well, this shade will at least be able to do some scouting. He does see the Stargate.
Yeah, and that's a pretty big deal. We do have Phoenixes being made on both sides here.
Sometimes in PvP, or at least historically, if you're both going Phoenixes, then you're stuck going Phoenixes.
Yeah.
For a while, because otherwise one player just gets way more, and obviously Phoenixes do damage quite quickly, so they wipe out the area very fast, and then they just start picking up your workers or your stalkers and killing them.
Yeah, and Zest in a little bit of a deficit here. He's actually grabbing a Robo, which isn't necessarily bad, but the fact that Hirricane knows that he has a Stargate means he doesn't need to get a Robo. He doesn't need to spend any gas on that or observers or anything like that. He can just focus on making Phoenixes for now. He does throw up a Robo anyways, which is fine as well, but looks like Zest getting in here. A little bit of harassment damage. Not too much, though.
And the second Stargate is going to be finishing up in a little bit here, so it's going to be more and more and more Phoenixes as the game progresses onward here.
And if it does go into just Phoenix versus Phoenix, man, that game gets pretty crazy pretty quickly.
What was the game? I think it was we saw SOS do this against somebody where he actually intercepted.
Flanked?
Yeah, he actually flanked him perfectly in the Phoenix versus Phoenix. It was so cool.
Yeah, it was a beautiful move, that game. It was on like Overgrowth or something, but yeah, that was... I forget exactly what the context was of... But it was like the most brilliant move ever. Like, he made it seem like his Phoenixes were out of position and just flanked and killed him. And
yeah, it was wild.
Because when you buy a lot of Phoenixes, whoever wins the first Phoenix battle wins the game almost always.
Speaking of which, we already have Hurricane's Phoenixes surrounded. And the problems for the Phoenix player who starts to lose go up exponentially as the game goes on.
Yes.
Phoenixes are a serious pain in the ass. I mean, they can not only harass and take out your stalkers, but it also make it basically impossible to leave your base.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm really surprised that he was over there because he knew he was going Phoenixes. And when you're both going Phoenixes, if you don't have a substantial Phoenix lead, you can't actually go across the map because then they have more Phoenixes. It's like ZVZ in the old days where it's like, okay, now we're close to his hatcheries. He has more roaches. Now you have to run. Okay, now he chased you. Okay, now he has to run.
Yeah.
But it's more unforgiving than that because they fire while moving. So
Yeah, you
it's
don't
not
have to
like
have
roaches where you can poke like that. You can't do that.
You don't have to have any fancy micro to optimize damage with Phoenixes.
There's nothing new in Legacy of Void about that, man. Phoenix versus Phoenix, you can't just, like, I mean, Hirricane is kind of in a bad spot now.
Yeah, he absolutely is.
In fact, look at that supply differential. It's just, and it's gonna be
gonna get
even
worse.
harder.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. The Gateway Explosion is going to be just slightly later here for Zest, but that is because he was focusing on those Phoenixes early on. I guess the next question we got to ask ourselves is Zest going to try to engage the third base here? Because I would say, why not? With the Phoenix lead like this, supply lead overall, and soon have a pretty solid ground army, you could definitely... What you basically do at this moment is you'd actually run in and just have the Phoenixes pick up everything they can.
Yeah.
And let the ground army do the rest of the work.
Sure. But it looks
oddly
like
enough, Hirricane's going to be attacking here.
Yeah, he's almost got Blink, so it looks like that's what he wants to end up going for here. And
look at that.
There's those lifts,
That's
man.
really annoying.
That's a pretty big deal right there. He's trying to target down Phoenixes, doesn't really get anything here.
Yeah, there you go. He can just keep doing this.
Oh, man. And then the Immortals, as things drop down, that's it.
Whoa.
And very quick 2-0 here for Zest. They're just yelling. Whoa!
I don't know if you guys got that in the audio, but the Korean casters are to the right of us just down there. But, I mean, that was pretty straightforward. That was a lesson we had already learned before Legacy of the Void.
Yeah.
When the Phoenix count gets high like that, there's a lot of different ways you can win the game. I don't know why Hirricane attacked there. I'm not sure what the story was with that.
The only reason why you would move out with like 3 Phoenixes when you know your opponent's going Phoenixes is because you think that he stopped at 1 Phoenix. So...
Yeah, but he didn't because he saw like that there was up to 4 Phoenixes
I know,
at one
right?
point in time.
It was just not. It was not a good move. It was
not his best game.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's okay.
Yeah. He made a mistake.
He made a mistake. We're not perfect.
No.
We are going to go to a short break. When we come back, we'll be continuing on with more matches here in Legacy of the Void. Stay tuned.
Just like a heart attack, the pressure's rising, you can't contain. So clench your fist, it's obvious, you know we're pulling you in. This time will you deny the change inside of where you're transcend? It's almost bittersweet, you thought you see it falling apart, but you're oblivious, the city isn't without a heart. Finally face your fears, are running, I guess this is the test. I think you're lying in the bed, you made so sleep and regret. Stop now, and never get the best of me. Stay down, I never let you have to breathe right now. This is all you'll ever be. I am so much stronger. Let's go.
Welcome back. We are here at the Legacy of the Void match, day 2, learning how the meta is going to transform. StarCraft 2 is in a very good place right now.
Yeah,
this has been a
certainly.
lot of fun to see how each of these matchups, how it operates when you get the best of the best and they're duking it out with each other. Our next match is not going to be a mere matchup.
Yeah, and speaking of best of the best, Byul is going to be playing. So
Yeah.
very excited to see what his skill is like right now in Legacy of the Void. Going to be going up against Deer, someone who was actually even more dominant than Byul at one point. But
Well, it's kind of funny.
it's been a while.
There was a period back, maybe this was like 2 years ago. I'm not sure. We've casted so much StarCraft it kind of meshes together in my brain. But we were in
End
the
of
makeup room.
2013.
We were in the makeup room, and I was like, because there's a player named Deer. This guy was an unknown at the time, right? And I turned to Artos. I'm like, hey, would it be funny if that guy actually just won the GSL?
There was like 8 people left in the tournament at that point.
Yeah, and he was laughing. We're like, just because that would be like the least likely thing to happen, right? This guy was obviously good, but he wasn't like the player that people were keeping their eyes on. And then he actually won the GSL, which was crazy. A Royal Rotor.
And, well, he's a fantastic player nowadays.
Certainly is, yeah.
Half a bit, but
This should be a quality PvZ here. Over here in the upper right, a fantastic Zerg. He is Byul. Ooh, we're getting zoom-ins now. We have a new observer here.
Yeah, so please be patient. Takes a little time to
be
learn.
patient. Observing's not easy. In the bottom left, in the red, a GSL Codex champion, Deer.
Yeah, I'm sure our observer will grow by leaps and bounds all the time and get better and better and better. So, we'll see about that. But okay, so Protoss versus Zerg.
How is this matchup going to work? Let's find out, guys.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're obviously going to have to put some pressure on Zerg and harass. It's like kind of always been the case.
Certainly, you want to deny as many drones from being made, force them to make Zerglings. Anything else?
I think the best PvZ that we've seen so far was definitely Parting's PvZ that he was using at DreamHack. Brought Solar to the brink of defeat with it, and had some great play in there. Definitely liking Oracles quite a bit, being very, very sharp with his little timing attacks with Adepts in there as well. As far as Deer goes, just playing a very safe build here. A gateway into Nexus, walling in and all that. And looks like Byul going to go into 3 hatcheries before the pool. Not uncommon at all.
No, not at all. So a lot of mass expanding early on here. The question I'm asking myself is, what is the tech going to be from Protoss? Wouldn't be surprised at all if it was Stargate, but maybe it'll be something else. We'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 tech routes definitely are doable. I like Stargate currently.
Me too.
Because you need to get a lot of scouting done in this matchup, I think. Like, not just the pressure, but, you know, I guess a Robo with a quick Prism can do that as well with Adepts, just kind of dropping those all over the place. But let's see what he wants to go for. He is making an Adept. Doesn't really mean a whole lot. That's generally a unit you make a lot of early on since it's only 25 gas. Allows you to go down whatever tech tree you want.
Yeah. And so we're going to see that Adept pop out now, followed by a Stalker. All the StarCraft nerds watch, and they all got their notepads out there writing down the builds right now.
Yeah. Helps when that production tab's on for sure.
And then
I was heartbroken actually when I was casting yesterday and Hero was dismantling Terrans and like the production tab just never came on.
I had the same thing. I'm like,
sitting
that's
there,
too
bad. This is going to be the hardest build order ever to rip. This is going to be like StarCraft 1 all over again.
Okay, so we have the Adept splitting here. Shade going north. Meanwhile, the expansion taking some harass here.
Oh, a little bit of a misclick there. But yeah, the Adept just doing a little bit of scouting here. Not a whole lot of damage done.
A little bit of pressure as well.
Yeah.
And it's going to be the 3rd base being acquired now. Just now, here for Deer.
Yeah, we do have speed. That's going to be finishing up rather quickly here. Doesn't really need it. It'll give him some map control. But I don't think he's going to like try to attack or anything. You know, this is actually... The new Pylon Overcharge allows you to take such a fast 3rd base and really not be scared about it. Like, the amount of lings you have to make to break it is pretty crazy. Double Stargate coming up. Cool.
This is interesting. I'm wondering if he's going to pool Stargate units instead of just sending them directly out to harass.
Yeah, I think you have to pull up to 4 Phoenixes before you move out.
I would agree.
Because if you move out with 2, then they already know, they're like, wait, what? 2? Okay, and then they just are fine.
They basically just stop it.
Yeah, but if you wait till 4 or possibly more than that, then you can actually get a lot of damage done. Now, a little bit of poking going on by these Zerglings. Not going to get anything done, though.
Roach Warren about to finish up. The Zerg with enough banked up, we may see a good number of Roaches about to start here. And as the game goes on, yep, it is going to be 7, 8 Roaches now. And the Stargates are finishing, and so we're going to be seeing Phoenixes, come out in pairs.
Yeah. Well, quite a few Roaches. Okay, and yeah, he is going to back this up with a lot of Zerglings. So he might be going to try to break through here, but, you know, there's a lot of energy on this Mothership core. He can make a lot of pylon cannons. So, you know, while you can break through that, will he be able to? Now, the Phoenixes are not going to be very good against this rush at all. They don't kill Roaches quickly, and they don't have enough energy to kill Zerglings.
Phoenixes only become truly strong when you have a lot of them.
Yeah.
But this is a build that's actually about as old as StarCraft 2 is. You make a bunch of Roaches, you head them down towards the opponent's base, and you make Lings behind that, and the fact that the Lings are faster than the Roaches means that the whole army gets to that expansion at the same time, and it's a pretty big blow there.
Yeah, and look at this, quite a few Ravagers going up as well. That's a great way to take out pylons and entrench positions, like if Protoss starts to get up against a wall, or, well, the Phoenixes are going to find these rather quickly. Going to go ahead and pick off that Overlord really quickly. I don't know if he's going to be able to hold this natural.
The Lings are coming up now, and we see the Phoenix is picking up. I don't think there's any way he can hold this natural, actually.
Yeah, the pylons are falling so quickly here. He does have some Zealots there, taking quite a bit of hits, but 2 of his gateways are going to be unpowered here, and that's actually a big deal right now.
Yeah, and beyond that, I think he's going to be able to unpower this last pylon here.
Yeah, and look at this. He has 800 minerals. He's going to 900 minerals. If those were units, he would be okay right now.
Yeah.
But he just doesn't have it. He spent all this money on the Stargates. 2 of those gateways got empowered, and everything is now falling apart.
Yeah, and now a ton of workers being killed off here. The Nexus goes down here. Probably going to be the same story down here as well, as all 3 bases of Deer are under heavy fire. There is a Void Ray out here, but I mean, not going to get a very quick recovery with that, especially with the multitude of Lings that we already have down here.
Yeah, this is really rough. Like, even if he holds on right now up here, he's already lost way too many probes. He's got nothing going on for him right now. He's got 2 Stargates. Like, what does that do? You just make some spores at home.
Yeah,
you know, you're on 3 base.
It just really doesn't do anything, you know? Yeah. So, behind this, what Byul's done is made a ton of drones, and it's actually 67 drones to 30 workers for Deer. Deer with a kind of wonky tech here. There isn't really an avenue for recovery as far as I can tell.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. He has 3 Void Rays, I want to say. And
yeah, he definitely has 3 because we saw that one, and then there was 2 that were coming out of the Stargates last time.
Yeah,
but I mean, that doesn't really, that's not like on the offense unit group. You know?
Like, he might be able to pick off a few things here and there, like some extractors, maybe some queens that walk too far out, you know. If Byul makes a couple of mistakes here and there, you could, you know, maybe even get this hatchery, this 4th base, and that's a pretty reasonable victory considering how much damage you just took.
8 Hydras though coming out here.
Don't quite have their speed and range upgrade done quite yet.
Maybe they won't get there in time. As you can see, these do a lot of damage to, you know, the buildings. So okay, he will get a little bit something done there. Phoenix is now coming up here to pick up the Hydras, and they've actually reduced that Hydra count enough that maybe Protoss actually can do a little bit of damage here. We'll see.
Yeah, well, he already canceled off that 4th base. He's killed a couple Hydras and a Queen at the cost of 1 Phoenix. Like, he can't be very unhappy with what he's gotten done here. This is like probably more than he was truly expecting.
There is the elephant in the room here where Zerg has so many drones. It is inevitable that there's going to be a second follow-up attack that is going to crush this 3rd base, and I don't think there's anything really that Deer can do about it.
Now, this is a very tough one. Like, I mean, I guess you could make a couple more pylons for more cannons, but with the amount of Lings that should be piling out here to go with these ranged Hydras that are going to have +1 very quickly, it seems far-fetched to hold this.
Yeah, this is why double Stargate is not particularly common. All the way back into the early days of StarCraft, it did always have a place where you could kind of pull this out.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like the feather in your cat build. But right now, because of a situation like this, you can really see the lack of options for recovery when you do a strat like this.
Just the lack of ground units to help him hold on with that Ling Roach attack. That's really what did this to him. And now it's like just the army that Byul has made on the back of 70-ish drones is insane. That's like a scary, scary
There's
army.
not a lot of fancy stuff you can do here to stop the Hydras. They're just going to output so much damage here.
He has a decent amount of force fields. Okay, only does 2 pylon cannons. This is good. He's being very patient with this. He's not just insta-doing 3 or something like that. He's got to get some good force fields here, though.
Zerg nearly maxed out, is attacking in here. Some good force fields do come down, but I think this is really a game of numbers and not a game of tactics right now.
I think you're right about that. That is so many Hydras. Byul is not even microing here, just attack moving up.
Yeah. And I think when Deer loses to third base, he's going to have to tap out. There it is, GG.
All right.
Nicely done.
All right. Well, you know, the double Stargate didn't end up working out. Like, Byul hit a very, it wasn't even necessarily a sharp timing attack. He just kind of bludgeoned him with a lot of Lings and Roaches, which is a pretty good counter to having no units.
I think everybody's still mapping out where you can take risks and where you simply can't.
Yeah.
Because looking at that attack from Byul, I mean, there was no way that Deer was going to survive that. I mean, that was
yeah.
There was so many Lings and Roaches. You could really see that Deer hasn't quite fine-tuned that build yet.